Snow fell softly on the small mountain town as Evangeline Carter locked the door to Thread of Grace. Her seamstress shop modest but hers, 24 years old, with strawberry blonde hair and gentle features. She wore a cream-colored dress she had made, herself, simple but elegant. Behind her, two 4-year-old girls pressed their faces against the glass-identical twins with auburn hair and bright eyes. Rose wore a pink dress. Lily wore a matching one, both made by Evangeline's careful hands. "Can we go home now?" Rose asked. "I am hungry." "Me too," Lily echoed. "Yes, my loves," Evangeline said. "Let's go home." Home was a small apartment above the shop. Not much, but filled with warmth and love. As they walked up the stairs, Evangeline thought about the night 5. Years ago, that changed everything. She had been 19, working late in the shop, when she heard crying outside. 2 newborn babies in a basket on her doorstep. A note pinned to the blanket. "I cannot care for them. Please give them a better life there." Names are Rose and Lily, Evangeline had called the police, social services. But the system was overwhelmed. The caseworker had looked at the babies, then at Evangeline. "You found them," she said. "Would you consider fostering them?" Evangeline had no experience. With babies, barely had enough money for herself. But looking at those 2 tiny faces, she could not say no. Yes. The fostering became adoption. Evangeline worked day and night, sewing wedding dresses, altering clothes, anything to provide for her daughters. They had little. But they had each other, and they had love. That was enough. Until tonight, as Evangeline prepared dinner, someone knocked on the shop door downstairs. Unusual at this hour. She went down and peered through the glass. A man stood in the snow tall with dark hair and wearing an expensive black coat. He looked out of place in their small town. Evangeline opened the door slightly. "We are closed." "I know," the man said. His voice was deep controlled. "I am looking for someone. A seamstress named Evangeline Carter." Evangeline felt her heart race. "I am Evangeline." The man's expression shifted. Relief, fear, hope. "My name is Alexander Whitmore," he said. 5 years ago, I made the worst mistake of my life." Evangeline knew before he said it. "I left 2 babies on your doorstep." The world tilted. "You are their father." "Yes." Evangeline's hands shook. "You need to leave. Please," Alexander said. "I know I have no right, but I need to explain." "There is nothing to explain," Evangeline said. "You abandoned them. My wife had just died," Alexander said, his voice breaking. "Complications from childbirth. I was drowning in grief. I had twin babies I did not know how to care for. I panicked. Tears streamed down his face. I left them somewhere I thought they would be found. Somewhere. Safe. Then I ran. I spent 5 years trying to outrun my guilt, building a company, making money. Thinking success would fill the hole, he looked at Evangeline, but nothing did. "So you came back," Evangeline said coldly, "to take them." "No," Alexander said. "I came back to see if they are okay, to know if they are loved, to apologize for failing them." "They are loved," Evangeline said fiercely. "They are my daughters. I raised them." "I know," Alexander said quietly. "I hired an investigator." "I know. You adopted them. I know you work day and night to provide for them. I know you are an amazing mother." Evangeline felt tears now, too. "What do you want?" "To help," Alexander said. "If you will let me." "We do not need your money." "Maybe not," Alexander said, "but I need to do something. I need to be part of fixing what I broke." Before Evangeline could respond, small voices called from upstairs. "Mama, who are you talking to?" Alexander's face went pale. "Are they?" "Go away," Evangeline said. "Please. Just go." Alexander looked like he wanted to argue, but he nodded. "I am staying at the Pine Lodge Inn," he said, "if you change your mind." He walked away into the snow. Evangeline locked the door and leaned against it. What had just happened that night after the girls were asleep, Evangeline could not rest. She kept thinking about Alexander, about the pain in his eyes, about 5 years of guilt. She understood loss. Her parents had died when she was 17. She knew what grief could do, but abandoning babies, that was different, wasn't it? The next morning, there was an envelope under the shop door. Inside was a check for $50,000 and a note, not to buy forgiveness, just to help. Please use it for Rose and Lily. They deserve everything, Evangeline stared. At the check, it was more money than she had seen in her life. She should tear it up, send it back. But she thought about the girls, about how she struggled to pay for their doctor visits, their clothes, the future she wanted to give them. She put the check in her desk drawer. Over the next week, Alexander came to the shop every day. Evangeline refused to see him, but he left things a toy for each girl book's warm coats in their size, always with notes. I do not expect anything. I just want them to have what they need. Finally, Evangeline agreed to meet him at the cafe down the street. Why now? She asked. Why come back after 5 years? Alexander looked older in the daylight, tired, because I could not live with myself anymore, he said. Every success felt hollow, every achievement meaningless. I kept thinking about those 2 babies, wondering if they were okay, if they hated me, if they even knew I existed. They do not know, Evangeline said. I have not told them about you. As far as they know, I am their only parent, Alexander nodded. That is probably best. You are their mother. You are the one who was there. He looked at her. I do not want to disrupt their lives. I just want to help, however you will let me. Over the following months, Alexander became a presence in their lives. He did not push, did not demand to be called father. He was just there fixing things around the shop, helping with deliveries, playing with the girls when Evangeline had work to finish. Rose and Lily adored him. Mr. Alexander is nice, Rose said one evening. He tells funny stories. Lily added, Do you like him, Mama? Evangeline realized she did. Despite everything, despite the anger she had felt, she was seeing the man beneath the mistake. The man who was trying to make amens one. Snowy evening, Alexander stayed for dinner. After the girls were in bed, he and Evangeline talked. Tell me about them, Alexander said, about who they were as babies. So Evangeline did. She told him about Rose's first smile, about Lily's first. Word about sleepless nights and tiny hands and the overwhelming love she felt. Alexander listened with tears in his eyes. I missed everything, he said. Yes. Evangeline replied honestly. You did. I cannot get that back. No, Alexander looked at her. But, can I be part of their future? Not as their father. I do not deserve that title. But as someone who cares, someone who wants to help, Evangeline thought about it. Why should I trust you? You left them once. I know, Alexander said, and I will regret that every day of my life. But I am here now, and I am not leaving again. He took her hand. Let me prove it. Let me show you I have changed. 6 months later, Alexander proposed. Not a grand gesture, just a quiet question in the shop after closing. Love you, Evangeline, he said. I love Rose and Lily. I want to be a family. A real family. Not to replace their memory of how things were, but to build something new together. Evangeline looked at this man who had entered their lives as a stranger, who had made a terrible mistake, but who had spent every day since trying to make it right. I love you too, she whispered. They married that winter small ceremony in the shop rows, and Lily were flower girls. At the reception, Alexander gave a toast, 5 years. Ago I made the worst decision of my life, he said. I abandoned 2 newborn babies because I was broken, grieving, lost. He looked at Evangeline, but those babies were found by an angel, a young seamstress who had every reason to turn them away, who chose love instead, who raised them as her own, who gave them everything. His voice broke. Evangeline, you saved my daughters, and you saved me. You taught me that family is not just biology. It is choosing to love, choosing to stay, choosing to do the hard work of being present. He raised his glass to my wife, who is the strongest person I know, who built a family from nothing, who showed me that grace is real and forgiveness is possible. Evangeline stood and kissed him. You came back, she whispered. That is what matters. You could have stayed away, but you chose to face your mistake, to try to make it right. Years later, Rose and Lily would learn the truth about how they came to live with Evangeline, about Alexander's mistake and return. They would struggle with it, feel anger and confusion, but they would also see the love. The family that was built from broken pieces, the father who came back, the mother who never left, and they would understand that family is not perfection, it is people choosing each other every single day, even when it is hard, especially when it is hard. If this story moved you, please like and share it with someone who believes in second chances and the power of redemption. Subscribe for more stories about forgiveness and chosen families. Comment and tell us about a time when someone came back to make things right. Your story might inspire someone to have the courage to face their mistakes today.